So what's good, everybody? Yesterday I uploaded a video for testing the fuel pump relay in this truck, and I kind of just skimmed over testing the fuel pressure, hooking the gauge up or whatever, because I was going to just put a link up to the video that I thought I made for doing that. So this is for just hooking the gauge up. So what you guys seen, at least in the Trailblazer video, I used this kind of fuel pressure tester that was part of like a master set. You don't need that. I'm going to try to put up a link to something more affordable, specifically for these GM trucks. I go in here into this manual that came with it. This is really helpful. Adapter for standard Schrader valve. That's just great. That really helps us out. Really what you're looking for is something that's compatible with GM and Chrysler. You can see here, adapter for small Schrader valve for Ford. Ford kind of did their own thing with a smaller fuel pressure test port. So GM and Chrysler is the one we're looking for. Haven't been able to find any information about a size for that, but it's whatever. So on this 98.57 Chevy, we're on the driver's side of the engine. I don't know if you guys can see this. So if you see this right here, this is what we're actually going for right here. So it's just got a little cap on it. Pull him off. Now you really want to try to get this as tight as you can. You don't want to kill it or anything. If you find that the thing's leaking or whatever, after you get the test gauge hooked up and you're doing your test, I'm only going to say this just to have it out there. You can kind of snug it up with some pliers, but if you go crazy tightening it up, you're going to fuck some shit up. So only in a worst case scenario would you ever use a tool to tighten that up. The actual fitting that I'm using kind of has like a textured kind of grip on there, so you can really just go on there with your fingers. But there have been cases on some vehicles where I do all this and the pressure doesn't quite get where it should be, and you can smell gasoline just because the fitting's not tightened up all the way. I do go in there with the tool, but again, just be careful. You don't want to fuck nothing up, you know what I mean? Keep your eye on the gauge. I'm just going to do the key on test. So what you saw there, and I think you might have picked up this the click that you heard, it was just the relay turning back off. So I'm going to go ahead and start it up. So like in the video from the other day where we took the jumper and we jumped 30 to 87, I mean that's pretty much what you're doing with the scan tool. You're allowing the thing to run without the truck running, you know what I mean? Because if you just blip the key on, you're like 2 seconds and then it cuts off. They don't want you to sit there with the key on and the truck not running and the pump just. So disconnecting this gauge ain't nothing to it. You see our pressure just kind of tapered off to next to nothing. We'll still probably lose a little bit of juice, but comes with the territory. You know what I mean? It's inevitable. You're gonna lose a little bit of fuel here. So don't smoke your cigarettes or your blunts while you're doing this. Just pass it to your buddy while you're playing around back here with gas. I lost the cap. We should have like labeled the fucking here it is. Should have like spray painted these things orange or something. Blip 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 boom. So I guess the question would be, well, what would you actually do this test for? Number one thing is when the truck cranks but doesn't start. You know what I'm saying? That is 99% of the time why I hook a pressure gauge up. I'd say the other 1% of the time would be I don't know, running lean or long crank time. These things have a super crazy fuel injection system in it. Here, I think I got a picture that I took with my camera that I'll put up. So there you have it, testing the fuel pressure in one of these CK pickups. Like I said, I'm going to try to put up a link to something cheap like on Amazon or something that will work if you guys are interested in buying your own. Definitely something you want to have, because right away, if someone was just going to test the fuel pressure, I know like the scumbags I work for would be like, it's 84.95. All they did was hook up a fucking gauge, you know what I'm saying? I guess the only thing I can say is I'm not going to sit here and give you guys a fucking safety lecture on, oh, gasoline is flammable, and man, fuck all that. Just be safe. Don't smoke your fucking cigarettes or your blunts while you're right here working around fuel vapors. Something bad could happen. So thanks for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe to my shit.